So the date is 27th of November, 2011, it's 10 o'clock at night. The setting is Wadi Hilwe in Silwan, right next to the city of David. At 12 o'clock, midnight, the Jerusalem municipality's eviction of the 12 members of the Sumerian family is set to take place. When we arrive, the circle of white plastic chairs leans towards us, chipped hooves scraping on cold tiles. White knobbed joints and logs pop and flick. And the murmur slows so that the loudest sound are the cracked pockets of air and fire dancing in the wheelbarrow. 50 years old, they told us later. The wheelbarrow, that is, not the fire. The fire is 44 or 63, depending on how you count. When we arrive, we look like other people whose arrival means other things. Water-colored eyes, loose jeans, the gait of those for whom a policeman on a dark street means safety. When we arrive, it takes Mohammed, 9 years old, a few minutes to recognize me. I have pulled my hat down low to keep the cold out of my ears and the top of my spine. I place my hand on my breastbone, no closer to my heart than to the side of my chest filled only with lung. May peace be upon you and upon your watery coffee and sesame bread. Muhammad runs over to say hello, and the circle of chairs resumes its ancient ritual of creak and whisper. I ask Muhammad how he's doing. Kif halak ya shadr? And he says, not so good. Smiling, I say, why? Not smiling. He says, you know why. Tarif leish. And I am silent. And then he starts to tell me about school, and how he hates to get up early, and will I stay at his house tonight? Yes, I say. I hope so. I hate to get up early also. The air is medium, filled with smoke and semi-silence. And my thoughts skip back to a bonfire in Vermont with Abe and Jade and Jana and Andrew, and the oblivion of stars and wine and 19-year-old virility. But here, of course, it is different. Here, we can't see the stars because there is a tarp over the courtyard. We hear a scratching, and for a few moments, everyone debates, cat or snake? One of the sons of the house tells a story about how once I was napping and a cat fell on my stomach. It was fine, he said, because of my belly, but I was so scared I almost died. Everyone laughs a little bit too loud. We hear the sound of a truck outside and bright lights flashing. The circle of white plastic chairs begins to writhe and wither in the heat of the wheelbarrow's hapless flames. Our necks are cracking to see. Our necks are cracking. Please don't let them who are also us, but tonight so deeply not us also. Please don't let them come. The air is thick with dust and smoke, and it is the garbage man from the neighborhood come to say hello in solidarity. Hello, we say. And this time, everyone laughs quietly. We are still awake at 2:30 in the morning, and as we begin to fade into the white plastic chairs, the family brings out white plastic bags filled with sesame bread and za'atar, and white plastic plates piled high with meat, which none of us eat, silly leftists, it's very good, and reddish black kettles of coffee and tea. They will stay awake all night, the family, but we are tired. If anything you need, they say, just tell us. If anything happens, we say, just wake us. And I think of the concept of shining our metaphorical lights of privilege and justice on armed police officers, and suddenly it doesn't sound as romantic. In the medium air of the early Palestinian morning, I imagine Mohammed, 9 years old, being dragged from his bed, and I am very tired. We sleep on spring-filled reddish-black couches in the room they prepared for the Jews. You are Jews? One of the little ones asked earlier. But how? Some Jews want you to leave your house, we thought at him, and other Jews want you to stay, and want to stay also. In the early morning, 3 men are still standing around the wheelbarrow, maybe older than the occupation itself, depending on how you count. The white beard of logs still sizzling and hiccuping in its belly. The air is thick with dust and jasmine. After all, who could sleep on a night like this except for most of us? And then, as the sun grows brighter, we hear the news. The eviction has been temporarily frozen. I want to laugh and to weep, but I am too tired, so I nod my head seriously and we shake hands and say, let's make temporary into forever. And as I walk home through the shopping malls and green buses, I try to remember how to make something forever, and I can't. So I whisper to myself, maybe just for a very long time.